All right, all right. Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing? Hope y'all are doing well. We will give it a few minutes, let everybody get in here. I'm drinking some water this evening at the good old hotel. Let me know if y'all can hear me and see me and all that good stuff, okay? Seems like I have good connection, but that could change any minute. We have Dennis Buckner, or DB. We got Reloading from the Hot Pot. Rich B's in the house. Pistol Pete's in the house. Mike High. Rusty Taylor. Lynn Holt, and we'll keep on saying hello to everyone else. And I did put a question in the chat. Did anybody take advantage of any Black Friday deals? And I saw that Pistol Pete did. He got him some Gridlock grips, which is awesome. Hello, Abigail, Dirt Track. Did anybody buy any special Black Friday deals? I mean, I picked up a few. I can, if y'all want to know, I can tell you a couple of them, but I don't want to give away all the secrets, but because I'm gonna do some reviews on some other stuff. One I've been waiting for a really long time to come back in stock. So, and it finally did. And then when it came back in stock, it was on the Black Friday special. So that worked out pretty well. But so I had been waiting on it. But and Pistol Pete, I remember. I think you got the black grips, didn't you? You had noted to me that they were out of the black grips, and I had reached out to them that morning to let them know, and they probably made some and put them on the deal for you. So you probably got some special ones. Yeah, I'm a palm swell guy. I really love their palm swells. So that's awesome. Thank you, Pistol Pete. I appreciate you using my discount code. And Dirt Track said he got a light for a pistol and reloading bullets that came with 500 pieces of brass. Awesome. What pistol light did you get? Just curious. Hello, M. Gabriel. How are you? Black grips matter. Yeah. Oh, no problem, man. I just shot him a text and said, "Hey, you got some peeps that one of my family members needs some black grips, and I'll show y'all are out of them." So I'm sure they jump through hoops to get you taken care of and get that reloaded on the site. Because we didn't, I don't want anybody to be without something. And if you're going to have a sale, make sure you're loaded up on everything beforehand. And I know it doesn't happen all the time. Those guys run a really tight ship over there. But, sometimes the night before people can put in a bunch of orders, so you just never know. But yeah, I would love to hear if y'all got any Black Friday specials, that you want to talk about, because I'm interested. See if there was anything. I saw a bunch of stuff come through. Sorry, I'm super thirsty. I saw a bunch of stuff come through. Like, man, a bunch of. I mean, there was some things that I wanted to pull the trigger on because it was just such a damn good deal. And I can talk about that. I'll write it down and we'll talk about it here in a minute. What I thought was a freaking incredible deal. Got to write it down before I forget. I didn't buy it, but I was like, man, and it was a gun. It was a gun. Bagger Bros in the house. Pistol P, yeah, I saw that you said that they were having a sale. Picked up some Underwood carry ammo. That's awesome. Hello, GB58. How are you? Let's see. Lynn Holt says, still evaluating ammo for 45. I picked up some Liberty Civil Defense on clearance. Picked up some parts and mags from Wilson earlier in the week. Wilson Combat are the best mags for a single stack 45. That is the only mags I will run. I have shot the Liberty Civil Defense. I'm not sold on it. It's super light. It's super fast. I know that. The fragmentation is supposed to be pretty good. I just don't think it goes deep enough. That's my only concern. I shot, back when I was doing the pig heads, I shot it on the frozen pig heads. It was 9mm. It wasn't 45, and it didn't do too well. So, but that could have been a sample of one. Who knows? not telling you what to buy or what not to buy. But I didn't have good luck with it. Richard Jenkins bought him a knife. What kind of knife did you get, man? I'm curious. I like knives. I don't have like $5,000 knives or anything like that, but I have some pretty nice knives. And then I have some basic ones too that I'm not afraid to pick or to pry with and stuff like that. Dang, that's really good. I picked up, Bagger Bro said I picked up some ammo at Shields, 1050 for 50 rounds of 150 grain 9mm ammo. That's not a bad price at all. Duval. Let's see here. I did see they were selling a Shadow 2 for $900 non-optic ready. Yep, I saw that one too. Reloading from the Hot Pot got him a bunch of reloading essentials. There you go. Spyderco makes really good knives. I like Spyderco knives. Matter of fact, the last Spyderco knife I had, it was an old one. It was the Spyderco Police Edition. I lost the damn thing. I don't even know where it is. I have no idea. It must have came out of my pocket. I have no idea what the hell where it is. Just one day I was like, where's my knife? And it was gone. So shit happens. Yep. Metgar 8-round 45 ACP 1911 mags haven't failed me like the Wilsons also. I do have a lot of the Metgars. I even have the Metgar plus 10 or excuse me, 10 rounders for the 45. The only thing I don't like about the Metgars is the bottom base plate. It's just got the old school base plate in it. That's the only thing I really don't like about them. They feed well, never had an issue. However, I do like the follower on the Wilson Combat much better. It's not the flat plate. It still won't nosedive, but the Wilson will never nosedive, ever. So that's the only thing I don't like about the Metgars. Not that I've had a problem with them, but, I think over a period of time. All right, Brian. He said, finally found an optic plate for his CZ Shadow 2 compact today. What brand did you get, Brian? Did you get the C&H Precision, or which one did you get? Just curious. Rich B said, I visited a PSA retail store today. There wasn't a sale price tag anywhere. Black Friday must have busted the bank for them. I bet it did. Man, I had people sending me emails and texting me, oh my God, did you see this special? And I was sending out stuff to buddies saying, man, do you see this price? You see that? I knew you needed one. Here's one, blah, blah, blah. So, wow, DB got him a 17L on Black Friday. What did you get that for? I mean, how much was it? Just curious. I've got that 17L. They're kind of hard to find, and they only make them like every 4 years now, I think. Hello, A-Dubs. How are you? Ooh. EPS or 507T. Out of those two, and I own the 507T, I don't own an EPS. For that gun that you're going to put it on, the Shadow 2 Compact, I would go EPS. Because it's an enclosed emitter. Not saying you have to have an enclosed emitter. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it would probably be better to have it on that particular gun. Dirt Track got the SIG Foxtrot and a TLR7. That's awesome. TLR7 is actually a really, really good light. Okay, you got the CZ plate. Good. Yep, they make great plates, of course, because they're made for that gun. So yeah, the Black Friday, what I ended up getting, I don't know if y'all know this about me. Maybe I've mentioned it before, but I'm a cologne freak. I love cologne, good smelling cologne, not Brut by Fabergé from back in the day. I'm not talking about High Karate, but I'm definitely a cologne freak too. So I did picked up 4 bottles of cologne. Not that I had to have it, but I've got a pretty good assortment of cologne. So I do like kind of wearing one scent one day and traveling with another and stuff like that. Now, the one that I travel with, or the bottles that a bottle that I travel with, I'll use throughout the week when I'm traveling. But I do rotate that in and out sometimes for different scents. So that's one thing y'all might have not known about me, that I'm definitely a cologne freak. So bought 4 bottles of cologne. I bought something from Primary Arms that I've been waiting on for a very long time, and it finally came in stock. I'm probably late to the party on it, but I did want to get one to test it and do some comparisons. So I don't want to give it away, but I will. Let y'all know what it is. I mean, if y'all want a box opening, I guess I could do that, but it's not going to knock your socks off. Muskman. What's crazy is I do like spice. I like the dark, tobaccos, bourbon. I do like the dark notes in cologne. So, what colognes are my favorite? I've got some really good ones, Rock Chalk. I'm a big Creed person. If you've ever heard of Creed, Creed, and it's not the band. They've been in business forever. I do like Creed Artemis. I like Creed Cool Mountain or Silver Mountain Water. More in the summer for that. I like Davendorf. I've got Davendorf Leather. I really am a big fan of it. I've got Spice Bomb Extreme. Some of these colognes aren't cheap, and you can't just find them. But then some that I bought are more reasonable. God, what did I buy? I already forgot. One was by Dior. Crap. I'll think of it probably in a minute. But yeah, I've got a bunch of different favorites, or a bunch that I like. Hops number 9. Whew, man, I've got a bunch of that from way back in the day. It probably smells like freaking kerosene now. I mean, it smelled bad then, but as long as I've had it, I bet that shit's turned. It's probably really bad now. Hello, Norwood. How are you? Ooh, damn. Rusty Taylor said had a cart loaded at Primary, but water pump went out on the way to the job, and that was going to pay for it. Yeah, I hear you, man. Definitely got to get those water pumps replaced. $649 on the 17L. Wasn't really a sale, but I've been wanting one for a long time. Unicorn, yeah, they are hard to find. That's good that you got one, though. I like my 17L. If you really want to go crazy with your 17L, and there's only one manufacturer that makes it, and they're hard as hell to find, I bought 2 of them just in case one ever goes bad. But Silencer Co. actually makes a Glock 17L threaded barrel. On my 17L, I've got the Silencer Co. threaded barrel, and I run a comp on it, so it even makes it longer. So it is, man, that damn thing's like almost a foot long with that comp on it. So because what I'm under, and I'm not a reloader, but what I understand is you can shoot, and Hot Pot and some of these other guys could probably answer this. But since it's a 6-inch barrel, somebody said if you run 115 in it, by the time it exits the barrel, it's plus P or plus P plus. Maybe it's plus P. I don't know that for sure. That's what a bunch of people were telling me. And one of them that told me that was a reloader, but I'm not very familiar with him. So Hot Pot could probably answer that. Yes, there is a difference between cologne and perfume. You've got de parfum, you've got cologne, you've got actual oil. I even have some oils. I bought 2 of them in Dubai, and they're actually true oils. Basically, you can get like some of the colognes are mixed with a high grade of alcohol, so it's dominantly alcohol. Some of the, what is it called? Some of the oils They're not diluted with alcohol, so it takes a very little and it'll light up a room. So you got to be careful with some of that stuff. Hello, DB. Let's see here. Casey Dolph, how are you? How long does cologne stay good? Actually, some good colognes can actually enhance with age. Um, so what you can do, your little atomizer, your little sprayer, you can actually pull it off and just let the stem set. And some of them will actually cure, kind of like bourbon and things like that. And they'll sometimes get a deeper note. It's weird, but you know, it can. And then if you get the cheap colognes, they can turn, and that means for the worse. The vinegar or the oils in the cologne, and then the alcohol can actually kind of gel, and you'll see little bubbles in it. Don't wear it when that happens because it's nasty. But it usually some of the cheaper ones will turn, and I've got some cheaper ones too. Taylor Brown is asking any experience with the newer Colt Pythons and Ruger 357 mag, 44 mag revolvers. Actually, Taylor, I do not. I own some of the older Smith & Wesson revolvers. I don't have any experience with the newer Colt Pythons and things like that. Triple C, Channel Cat Chaser, actually collects all the snakes. He's got, I think he has every one of the snake revolvers. So I would probably check out, somebody that's really, really into revolvers. Unfortunately, I'm not. Not saying they're bad guns. They're not. They're great guns, but they're just. I don't even know the last time I shot my revolvers. I really can't remember. It's been so long. It's probably been 10 years or more. It's been a long time. Here we go. Reloading's answering. It says it does change the feet per second with a longer barrel. I would say plus P, but a little hotter. Okay, yeah. Because I know when I've shot it, man, it's screaming out of that thing. And then I added the threaded barrel, which gave me a little more length. And then the comp, I know the comp's opening it, but you got the threaded barrel, which is 6 inches. And then you got like that little, what is it, like a half an inch of threads. So it's kind of like a 6.5 inch barrel now. So I thought that would even, pump it out there a little quicker. Yeah, you got to have that extra long, man. That Big Johnson edition. Hello, Lake Ozark guy. How are you, man? All right, I can do that. Mine's not a stock 17L. It's kind of tricked out. It's a Deadpool edition. So I had it all tricked out. I've shown it way back when, but Dolce & Gabbana makes some good stuff. They do have, I think Dolce & Gabbana makes one that's called Oud, Dolce & Gabbana Oud, and that's kind of a musky scent, the Oud is. And those are some good ones, man. But you gotta, it's weird. Some cologne is meant for like fall, winter. Some cologne is meant for spring, summer. Some is just a summer blend. Some is just a winter blend. When you really get into it, it's kind of crazy. There's just, I've got different ones for different seasons and shit like that, but whatever. I have like a thing about stuff I collect. I even wet shave. I don't use any cartridge razors. I don't use that cheap shit. I do a wet shave with a real brush, mix up my lather, all that shit. And I even do straight razor shaving with a straight razor. I do it with double edge, the old school cartridges or the old school blades that you put into the razors. I can't stand that cheap foam shit because all of that is chemicals. I'm not trying to harp on it, but every bit of those are chemicals you're putting on your face from the foam. It's really bad for you. It's I keep this girlish complexion. Hello, Jason Fisher. How are you, man? Sean John Unforgettable, man. I remember that shit. Back in my day, man, it was Halston Z14. That was the shit. It was Obsession by Calvin Klein. Adidas. Oh, what else was it? I'm showing my age now. Trying to remember all the popular colognes. I had them all. Davidoff, Cool Water. Man, hell, a lot of people still wore Brute back then. Old Spice. Old Spice isn't bad, and I use the barber scent. Like when you go to the barber shop, I think it's called Pinot. It's the yellow aftershave. I really enjoy it with that barber scent. I don't use it as cologne, but I do like the scent of it. I really, really like it. How do most guys spray cologne here? Spray on your clothes or neck? You want to do your pressure points, which is on your neck, the back of your neck, your elbow, your inside of your elbow, inside of your wrist. Those are your heat zones, so to say, and you don't get right on it. You spray, away from it. I'm not telling y'all what to do, but wherever your heat zones are. And some people do spray it on their clothes. You got to be careful with some of these fragrances, man. You will drown yourself. You will get a headache. You got to know how potent some of this cologne is. I mean, good cologne. Some of the less expensive stuff, and I have it. I've got to put quite a bit of it on because my skin really soaks it up. But I've got some colognes that will last. Now, they're not cheap, but they will last 10 hours, 10 or 12 hours. And I mean, get a lot of compliments on it. I've asked that question a million times, Taylor. Any update when Staccato's coming out with the updated tack grip for the C2 models? Just about every other model has it now. I've asked the exact same thing. I said, why would you make the CS with the tack grip and not go back and start making the C2s with it? But they said, oh, we're just not going to do it yet. And I'm like, and these are connections that I know from Staccato. So, but they're not. Or they might eventually, but they haven't decided to yet. Pistol Pete wears Michael Jordan cologne, smells like a sweaty basketball. Yeah, that is one of your pressure points. Reloading, it's the back of your neck. Also, some guys put it in the back of their hair. So when they move their head, it'll smell. You got to be careful about some spraying it on your clothes, especially if it's really a white or cream colored clothes, because some of the oils in it can actually stain some of, the cheaper oils can stain some of your shirts. So just be careful. Pistol Pete, just don't shave. I hear you. Z14 and Adidas. Yep. Cool Water, Drakkar. Yep. CK1. I remember that shit too. And Fahrenheit. Lagerfeld, English Leather. Yes. I remember that. Jimmy Choo. Drakkar Noir. Yes. Hello, Clyde. How are you, man? Aqua Dujo for years. High Karate. Oh, yeah. I think I said that earlier. Yep. English Leather. Hell, I remember Gray Flannel. Gray Flannel was the shit back in the day, too. That shit was expensive. Now you can get it for like $12. But yeah, I was going to say, it's always fun to do the different colognes. And some people just buy like one or two colognes and that's kind of their signature scent. Nothing wrong with that either, if that's what you like to do. Yes, it can throw them off. Taylor's saying, have you heard about the dead air silencers problems can blow up? Yes, it can blow up or it can actually throw it off the front. Yes, there was which one was it? The Dead Air Nomad, I think. They had some where you shoot it and it would throw the damn suppressor off the end of your gun, even when it was cranked on there good. So I don't know. It was just blowing the end off of it. So Hugo Boss, yeah. I still have the Boss Red. That's one that I bought in Dubai, and it's the real cologne. I mean, like the pure. And man, that shit is good. Ooh, here we go. Matt said for Cyber Monday, I got level 3 plus ceramic plates, 4.1 pounds each, JPC carrier, and all the goodies to go on it. Told my wife it's not just for the closet, as I'll be LARPing in the backyard. There you go, man. Nothing wrong with LARPing. Yeah, I mean, cool water still smells good. Jason saying, Big J, do you think the Illinois gun registry will be blocked in court, or will they hide under their desk? I wouldn't register anything. I wouldn't register anything either. They could try to implement it eventually. I mean, if it doesn't get struck down automatically, it eventually will in the Supreme Court. So, I mean, all gun, these stupid things they're trying to push, they're all tyranny. So, Avon, ooh, yeah. Whew. Ding dong, Avon lady. I love what Elon told the advertisers in an interview recently with the New York. Yep. And the advertisers were Disney. Brian, that's who he told to F off, was Disney. He told them to pump sand. And I think that's awesome. Just like Dana White did with Peloton. Yep. High karate. Yep. Yep. That's what I was talking about, that high karate. And I don't know if y'all heard this, but I want your opinion on this. CVS is pulling cold medicines off of the shelf. You know, the over-the-counter kind that you can just walk in and buy, like your NyQuils and Dayquil and all the sinus medication, all the over-the-counter, supposedly they're going to be pulling it off the shelf because they're saying it has PE in it, and it's not going to take care of what symptoms people might have. So why would they be pulling that off the shelf in the winter time, or cold times when we're coming into winter? Why might they be pulling that off the shelf? And it's only CVS, supposedly. Why might they do that? What else might they be pushing or wanting pushed? I'm not going to say it, but I think y'all can read between the lines. The glass cars. Did I miss something? Pistol Pete might be onto something. 19 plus, maybe? Who knows? There you go, Matt Moore. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. They get, Elon, Dana White. I mean, that's stand up, telling people to pump sand. But Dana did cut a crater to the Bud Light, making one of the sponsors of the UFC, which I thought was But the way they're looking at it is they want to try to change Bud Light to see the real way it needs to be. So I don't know. I don't make those decisions. But is it almost like they want people to crawl in a corner and take aspirin, or run down and get a little pokey poke? Yeah, I'm not saying that every one of them are doing that, Rusty. I would just, be aware. And the ones that have failed, supposedly they have repaired and fixed properly. So I don't know. Maybe they got a bad batch of stuff. I don't know. Yeah, some of the over-counter stuff doesn't work. It helps with some of my sinuses and allergies sometimes, but Yep. You don't have to have livestock officially to do that, but I know what you're saying. Also, I don't know if y'all heard the official White House Christmas tree fell over. The big old monster Christmas tree. It fell over because of climate change. It fell over because of the wind. The wind blew it over. So that's what happened. But it was all decorated, ready for the Christmas tree lighting, and it fell over and knocked all the ornaments off and all that other stuff. So they had to bring a crane out to lift it up. So basically, the Christmas tree fell over like our leader does, or the leader. So now they have to redecorate it and all that other stuff. And I'm just like, boy, didn't that call him the kettle black? That thing falls over, and just like he falls over all the time. Didn't fall off a bike, though. Hello, Pranic. How are you, man? Yep. Think company like Bud Light, or let's say, here we go. Think company like Bud Light, or let's say Springfield Armory. If they legit say they messed up and changed, should we forgive? Philosophical question tonight. It is what it is. I don't own any Springfield Armory. I don't drink Bud Light anymore. People can choose what they want. But if you're going to choose to stop. Such as, and I usually stand with him on a lot of things. But Kid Rock. He shot up the Bud Light, did all that other stuff, and then he gets caught in his own club drinking Bud Light on camera. So either he was so drunk that didn't realize what he was drinking, or, talking out of both sides of your mouth. So I don't know. I don't, when I say I'm not going to do something, I don't ever go back to it. That's just what I do. Oh man, we couldn't have been that lucky, IBG. Couldn't have been that lucky. Yep, the puppet. Yep, or he probably started running his pie hole and knocked the tree over. Who knows? What's up, Tradbo? How are you doing, Uncle Dan? Always good to see you. We had a little chat today. Talked on the phone for a minute. Dirt Track says, I do what I want when my pocketbook allows. Guess I'll be rich if I lived in a liberal state where it's no freedom, no fun. I'll stay poor buying guns and ammo in a real state. I hear you, man. That's kind of what I was, I titled it, I Do What I Want. I had some comments that came in, a lot of comments over Black Friday on different videos. I think it was a group. And I can't remember all the videos. I do know it was one of my staccato videos. The C2. It was on the C2. I think C2 aim point video. I had a whole group of people coming in and bashing. They're probably anti-gun people and bashing and saying, "Oh my God, blah blah blah." And I was just like, I do what I want to. I do what I want to. So that's why I named this chat. I do what I want to. Or I do what I want. That's what I was saying. Not I do what I want to. I was saying I do what I want, because they were like, I can't believe you do this. Can't believe you do that. Blah blah blah. So anyway, I just named it that because I've left that on so many freaking answers to some knuckleheads. Big Johnson, thoughts on the debacle or the bobblehead DeSantis versus Newsom debate? Man, Newsom isn't, well, I'll probably get flagged. Just so y'all know, a bunch of these chats have been getting demonetized instantly. I don't know why. YouTube, I'm not doing anything wrong. Last I checked, we had freedom of speech. I know I'm on your platform, but good Lord, I'm not talking about half the shit that people talk about and dress up. A woman dresses up as a man or vice versa and gets away with all that shit. So you need to pump sand somewhere else, not me. But yeah, I mean, you know, I just have this weird feeling. I think I talked about it before. I just have this weird feeling that something medical is going to come up and the cackling hen is going to get put in and then Newsom's going to get put in before, we vote. So I just think something weird, and I'm not trying to start a conspiracy theory or any of that kind of stuff. I just think something weird is going to come up. So we'll see. I'm hopefully, I'm wrong, but I just think something's going to have to go. Russia knocked over the tree. Yeah, who knows? It could have been China. Remember they cleaned up San Francisco. That place is a freaking shithole. They cleaned up everything in 2 days because China was coming to visit. And the sad thing is he gave his little speech. And then after he gave his little speech, he got a standing ovation by Americans. A dictator got a standing ovation by Americans. There you go. And they clean up that whole shithole in 2 days for him to come visit. But they won't clean it up for their actual people who live there and try to work there and walk through that shit. Good Lord. Let's see here. You see that Pewview Shorts? He had a squib and a long barrel Glock, took the barrel out and shot out the squib from a distance. No, I did not see that. Did he do that recently? He's a pretty good guy. We've talked on the phone several times. Oh, yeah. No, I remember all that stuff, Matt. Yep, Colt. I've even talked about Colt before in the past. Yep. Sure have. Dems got control of Virginia again. Of House and Senate already have their AR ban bill and magazine limit bill introduced. Here we go again. Hopefully, Republican governor can veto them all. And hell, they've already gone through that with California, and they found it unconstitutional. So hopefully, this crap will start rolling downhill. Yeah, Marshall, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. But I'm telling you what, if they try this lockdown crap again, that ain't going to fly. I think people are done. We'll put it this way. Freedom people are done. So that shit's not going to fly. I still see people driving around with masks on in the car by themselves. I mean, I'm like totally healthy, look healthy. I don't know. They could have underlying conditions, but man, I still see that shit going on. And I'm like, that thing does nothing. What I have right now is bourbon and leather. It's a blended, what is it called? I can't even think of the maker of it. It's some special shit, but the blend is leather and bourbon. I think they call it God dang it, mixer's blend or something like that, but it's leather and bourbon. Exactly. Yeah, we would give him the boot real quick. He'd be ran the hell out of here. What's up, Mateo? How are you, brother? Hope you are doing well. Yeah, Nick can shoot. Matter of fact, I shot his gun. You know, he's got that gun that came out, the Apache, the 2011. But that thing was worn slick, and it's also a prototype. And I choked it pretty bad. In that video where I shot it, it ran that mag. The next mag, it completely shit the bed. But that wasn't on camera. And I told him, I said, well, I called him on his cell phone, and I said, man, and he said, yeah, he said that gun is freaking worn out. It was a prototype and wasn't supposed to be shot as much as it was. And they ran it dry. That's the thing. They started running it dry, and there wasn't, the guys who brought it had no oil, and I didn't have any with me because I was just there for their grand opening. I didn't bring my gun bag, or I would have taken it apart and oiled the damn thing. But I was like, get some oil in this thing or get it the hell out of here because people are shooting it dry and they're going to think it's a piece of shit. But all it was dirty and dry as shit. So, hello, AR Patriot Nation. Hope you're doing well. I say, here's what I say because I know that Jason's asked me some things, and Rich B and everybody, about Virginia and stuff. All gun laws, they're all infringements. So you can say, what about this? What about that? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? I think they're all infringements, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That is a right you're given at birth. And that's all there is to it, period. That's the way I feel. That's the way I am. And, so when they say, oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, who are they? They are nobody to me. They're not my God. They're people. And they usually have security. They have all this other shit that's provided for them, not the average people. So they can eat shit and bark at the moon. I don't care. And I would tell them that to their freaking face, too. I don't hide it. Cost Me Bags asking, Big Jonathan, thoughts on a 10 millimeter as an EDC? If you want to carry a 10 millimeter, there's nothing wrong with it. The only thing that, and I've owned them in the past. The only thing is, and everybody says, oh, you just need one shot. Yeah. I mean, if you hit the right zone, hit them in the right spot, they're going to turn off the off switch. However, if you have to really sling some multiple rounds, even with gorilla hands cranking down on it. It's not as flat as a 9 millimeter. Some of them don't hold as much capacity as a 9 millimeter. They definitely get the job done. But if you have to do rapid shots and you got a tight target, that's where I would prefer 9 millimeter. Neither or bad. You want 10, 9, 45, whatever it might be. And you could get a 10 millimeter and put a comp on it if you want to do that. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's just the way I look at it is where I am, like in the cities and things like that, more of an urban environment, I would prefer more rounds. And yes, you can carry a backup mag. I get all of that. I understand all of that. But if I've got one person coming at me versus 3 people or more people, I want to be able to transition quicker and get off shots that I need faster. So that's just my thought process. Wrong, right, indifferent, whatever. But there's nothing wrong with carrying it. Like I said, carry anything that you're going to do or anything you want to do. It's called PewView, PEWVIEW, PewView. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, Mateo. I grabbed something I've been waiting on for probably a year to get and try. I don't really want to talk about it yet. I've got a couple of things still coming. from companies that they're sending out to me. And then I got a bunch of cologne. I got like 4 bottles of cologne. Deep cleans your Glock today. There you go. Yep. I look at it, if they can have it, we can have it. That's the way it is. Yep. That's why we were given it. Tyranny against our government. You got bears. I don't have bears. Some people, they're as big as bears. Colt Peacekeeper. I remember those. I think she'll try, or she could try, but I don't think she would win. She's a piece of work, man. I've got buddies who live in Michigan. She's definitely a piece of work. Let's see here. Also, before I left this week, and I wanted to share this with y'all, every morning, care what it is, my gun is in the holster. It's sitting there. Whichever gun I'm going to carry, I keep them in the holsters. Even in the safe, I keep a lot of them loaded, ready to go, and they're in the safe in a holster. Just grab them out, check it, put it in. So every morning, even if I'm in the hotel, I'll grab it in the holster. I'll look at it, the dot, make sure it's good, make sure it's adjusted properly. I usually run my dots higher. So the intensity is higher because I run flashlights on my guns. So if I had to draw it, depending on if it's in a well-lit condition, it's going to be brighter. But if it's in a darkened condition, then I have a bright dot, a super bright dot, because when I turn on the flashlight can wash out the dot. So when your flashlight's on, it can, the light intensity will actually make your dot wash out. So I do keep my dot pretty, not all the way to the top, but maybe one under. So I like my dots pretty intense. So when you do that, it can run down the battery quicker on the small batteries. So I was about to leave to go out of town. I grabbed it. I looked at it and I was like, wow, that's dim. And then I tapped the button and it started flashing. And what it was is my Holosun 507C ACSS reticle, which is the little chevron with the big ring, and you can turn that off if you don't like the big ring. That's what it was doing. So the battery was low, and it's got the solar backup and all that crap, but you don't depend on that. That thing's a novelty. I don't even know if those really work. I don't care, because I did check it when I took the battery out. I looked through it, and there was no dot. So the battery's out, basically dead, whatever, out of the whole dot, and it wasn't still lit up from the battery backup or the solar panel. So I don't know. Maybe you have to have the battery in there to make it do it, but it was real dim. And I was like, okay. So I took it apart, popped a new battery in it. I have a battery at home, and then I also keep batteries in my backpack, when I travel. So I've got the big battery and the little battery in there, backups just in case I'm on the road. And of course, I've got a screwdriver with me, the little small one, where I can change those out. But that is one reason where I'm going with this, is whether it's on your nightstand, whether it's in the gun safe, it's in the holster, whatever. Before you put it in your pants, look at the dot, just look through it, make sure you're good to go, and all that stuff. Wiggle it around, whatever you want to do, in the holster, not live, or what I mean. And then slide it there, you're good to go. So I always check it every single morning. And this particular morning, it was taking a poop because I had ran the intensity up to compensate for the flashlight. So I don't have a washout. So that's just something to think about if you're doing that, because I'm telling you, if you don't brighten your dot enough to go along with your flashlight, you're going to have a problem. It's going to wash that dot out. So go in a darker room, kick up your intensity, turn on your flashlight, and see if the dot is dim. If you can still see the dot clear as day, you're good on your intensity. But if you're not, adjust accordingly. Turn it up, make sure you're good to go, then load it into your holster and leave it that way. And just periodically check it if you need to. But that's what I do. And again, checking it paid off. Escalated Quickie. What's up, Trigger Bar? How are you, man? Oh, it just recharges. Okay. Yeah, I had the battery out. And it was still dim, so I knew the battery was taking a shit. Big J, you get unnecessary wear from keeping them stored inside the holster. I always heard it can mess up the finish on your firearm, and don't store them like that for a reason, but I don't know. No. If you have a well done holster, your retention is on the trigger guard. If you don't run a light, it's on the trigger guard. It's not on the frame of the pistol or the slide. That's not where you're getting the retention. If you run a light, a holster with a light, your tension is held on by the light, not your slide, not your trigger guard, the light. So that's what holds it. So I could, well, no, I can't show, but I mean, that I've had that gun. I keep them all in holsters. I don't have any staccato wear other than, when you draw from your holster, practice, bang, 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 load it back in your holster. You're going to get on the muzzle, you're going to get a little wear here and there, but it doesn't drag up and down the slide on a well-made holster. Now, a piece of shit pancake holster or something like that somebody's just folded, some Kydex, you can get wear from those. I've even seen them so loose as you're walking around with a shitty gun belt on or no gun belt, dress belt, and your gun's just wobbling around in there and has a lot of play. Yes, you can get wear on your slide. Abnormal wear, not user wear. So there is a difference. IBG says, I hope Dan Wesson releases a DWX compact with optic cut and accessory rail soon, or hopefully CZ will release the updated P10C soon. Yeah, I mean, that gun is a total no-go for me because it has no rail on it. And it's also a small gun. Abigail says, don't worry, Big J. Already went to trial and they saw it was self-defense. Still sucks having to kill some. Damn. I didn't know you did that, Ab. I didn't know that happened. Yeah, dirt and debris can cause more wear from where the gun makes contact and draw and holster. Yeah, and that is the good thing about, and I will tell you this happened to me. You remember I used to carry those high-ass dollar 1911s, Les Baer, Ed Brown, all that shit back in the day. And on those, because it was back in the day, we all used leather holsters. I am not a leather holster guy anymore. Leather holsters, they really hold dirt. It sticks into the leather and they'll scratch, be abrasive. They also hold a lot of sweat. When you're out working in the yard or whatever, you're sweating and you're going to get a lot of moisture trapped in there, which can mess up your finish on your gun. So, because it contains salt in your sweat, so that can mess up your gun over time. Kydex, good thing about Kydex is you can take your gun out of it, you can look in it, you can see dust in it. Hell, you can rinse it out with water, let it dry, or dry it out with a rag. You're good to go. You're right back in business. You can't do that with leather. Also, if you choose to run a leather holster, I highly recommend horsehide over cowhide. It's much more rigid. It really withstands water and moisture better, and you'll get a lot better wear out of it. So, and I've tried them all. Yes, I did, Trigger Bar. CZ Shadow 2 Carry compact. You held it, right? Yes, I held it. I put pictures on the community tab, and I was going to do a video just on my opinion on it, but I'll go ahead and let y'all know about it. The CZ Shadow 2 compact is a complete no-go for me. I can only get these two fingers on it. You can see it from the video. Everything else is kind of hanging down. It doesn't work for me. It is too small. I didn't show it in the video, but when I wrap my hand, have the left hand over it and the right hand over it, I get no contact on the grip side for my left hand. There's no place to kind of stick it in there because my hand wraps all the way around the grip. Even if I were to put thicker grips on it, it still wouldn't work because it's too short. Could I run a +2 extension in it? Yeah, I could. I'm not saying it's a bad gun. It's actually an awesome gun. I love the trigger. The trigger is awesome. It feels like some of my Shadow 2 compacts that I've done a trigger job on. That's how good the trigger is. So it's one of the best double action, single action triggers. There's really no creep in it. Stages, it rolls right through. It's a clean ass trigger. I really love the trigger on the gun. It's way better than the Shadow 2 standard, in my opinion. The plate system, it's just like, the other one. So definitely torque it down correctly and use Loctite, the correct Loctite blue. The safety on the side, it's too flat. It's a no-go for me. I would still carry it. What is it called? Not all the way cocked, pre-cocked. I would carry it pre-cocked. However, I like on a 1911/2011, whatever, I like an extended safety just to ride my thumb on. Not saying you have to flip it up and down because it's double action, single action. However, I just like it to have a ledge for my thumb if I can get one. But the good thing is that the stock one sucks. It's horrible. The good thing is you can buy the Shadow 2 full size safety with the wide lever, and it goes right into the Shadow 2 compact. So that one part will fit the Shadow 2 compact. However, if you don't have a Shadow 2, good luck getting it because CZ doesn't have any of them. I already had some people reach out to me and say, what do you think? And I said it needs the Shadow 2 safety, just the wide safety, just to ride your thumb on. They tried to order them and they're out of stock. And that was the problem even back when. That's my opinion. I think it's a fantastic gun if your hands fit on it. I think it's a great gun. I love the rail, the optic, ability you can put on there. You can get taller sights through Dawson Precision, but it just doesn't fit my hand, so I can't shoot it, or it's just too small. So nothing wrong with it. Great gun. I think everybody's going to love it, but it's just too small. Is the CZ Shadow 2 compact the exact same size as the PCR and P01? In my opinion, yes. So if you've got the PCR and the P01, you're going to be happy with the Shadow 2 compact. And like I said, for 99% of the people out there, it is an awesome gun. I think you're going to love it. Those are the only two things I have an issue. It's just too small for me, which is not going to be for everybody else. And the safety. The safety sucks. The stock safety. Yeah, cleaned your holster with a paper towel. Yeah, sometimes I just take mine out in the garage and blow it out with compressed air. Or, you can buy that little can air if you don't have an air compressor. Let's see here. Let me catch back up. Sorry. So that's my opinion on the Shadow 2 compact. Also, I was telling you there was a gun that I was literally going to buy for Black Friday. It was a really good deal. Did I need it? No. Do I already have it? Yes. But as y'all know me, I have the guns that I really, really like. I have 2 and 3 of. Put it this way, like the Staccato C2, I have the MPA carry as well. So one's threaded, one's not. P10C, I have 2 of those. One's threaded, one's not. Shadow 2, I have 2 of them. P09, I have 2 of them. Glocks, I have 2 of them. Or more of, Staccato P, I have that with the comp, and then I have the MPA without the comp. So I like to have 2 of everything that I really, really enjoy. So what do I not have 2 of? The P10F. So they offered a special for the Optic Ready Tactical P10F. So it had the suppressor sights, the threaded barrel, it was black, and Optic Ready. And they had it for $399. That's a stupid price. So I was like, ugh. Do I need it? No. Did I want it? Yeah, because I would have bought the P10F with the threaded barrel. I would have comped it and then put a dot on it. So that was the deal. So that's the one I was going to buy, but I didn't need it. And I hit the buy button, or hit the put in the cart button. Then I took it out of the cart. Then I put it back in the cart. Then I took it out of the cart. I think I did that like 2 or 3 times. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I saw that interview with the CZ CEO, and I know that they're going to release some more P10s. I'm very interested in seeing what they're going to be about. So let me catch back up. Taylor Brown says, any plans to record at Wilson Combat? Super curious. Heard they do less handwork like they used to, and they lost more gunsmiths this year, like what happened in 2000. Whenever I go, yeah, I will record. Maybe not every single thing, but I will record. I've got to figure out when I'm going to go back there. It might be a little, maybe I'd probably say it's going to probably be after the first of the year that I'll go back out there. Yeah, quarter cocked with safety off. Yeah, that's the way I would carry it, everyday shooter. Yep. Yeah, quarter cocked is you're not cocking it all the way back. You're just pulling it back off of the firing pin. You can't do that on a double action, single action gun. It was a Yeet cannon. No, it was a P10F. Pistol P either guessed it or he heard me say it. I don't remember. Man, I have so many P10F mags. I have a ton of P10F mags. That's another reason I was going to get it. Yeah, the DWX is a great gun. I put my hands on it. I posted it up as well. It's a great gun, but where I was going with that is on the DWX, I have 4 2011s. So am I gaining anything? I am gaining ergonomics, no grip safeties, but I pin all mine anyway, or 90% of them are pinned. I think they're dumb. Just my opinion. I know people like them. They're dumb for me because they don't fit my hands. Most of them don't. I only have one that does, and it's my MPA 5-inch. It does fit my hand, but none of the other ones do. So that's why they're pinned. And the good thing, you can replace the grips, because the grips were really small for me, the stock ones, but I could pop lock grips on them. That would be awesome. And then I would have to get it milled. And again, I have tons of P10F mags, and that's what it takes. But for me, I already kind of have the gun, with my 2011. So I just didn't see a reason in getting it. I could have bought it right then and there, but I was like, I just thought about it, and I was like, I don't need it. And it's not going to do anything that my 2011s won't do for me, other than have the really great ergonomics of a Shadow 2. That's what it has. And I'm not saying I won't ever get one. I'm just saying not right now. Everyday shooter, they have the gray one for $399. Yeah, I don't need any 10 round mags. But I mean, I have plenty of them. Oh, this one also came. The tactical came with plus twos, so it did come with two mags, and you get plus twos. So it's 20 rounds plus one in the pipe, so 21 rounds, not 19 plus one. Oh yeah, Pistol Pete saying once the Optic Ready DWX comes out, you will get one. I mean, personally, I kind of like them to be direct milled anyway, so you don't have to do a plate. But I just don't. I don't see a reason in getting one right now. I'm in Oklahoma City right now. Anyone see the city council in Oklahoma City? Speakers were all calling Israel. That's Oklahoma. No, I didn't. I mean, I hadn't even turned on the news or anything while I've been here. But yeah, I'm in Oklahoma City right now. Yep, everybody needs a barbecue gun. Yep. Y'all don't know it, but when I'm out cooking, even on the channel, I got some barbecue guns. I rotate them. I even did it as a joke one time. We had friends come over, and I did it as a joke just to mess with. Well, he knows I'm a gun guy. His wife is. I don't want to say she's anti-gun, but she's just not comfortable around guns a little bit. I mean, they both really like me, but she's just a little iffy about guns. So I told him, I said, text me when you're really close to the house, and he's like, okay. So anyway, he texted me and said, hey, we're like 3 minutes away. So I put my battle belt on. On my battle belt, I've got mags, the holster, my dump pouch, AR mags, all that shit on one of my. I've got 3 battle belts, but this was my main one, and I had my holster on there. So I put my my Staccato P with the comp in there, and of course it was loaded because why would you not have a loaded gun? Anyway, so I had it all on, and I had my apron pulled over, my camo apron. I had it pulled over the front of it. Anyway, they came in, and I was out cooking, and they came out in the backyard. And anyway, I'm standing out at the pit, and I've got all this on, and I turned around, I was like, "Hey, how y'all doing?" And she was like, she just stood there with her mouth open. He was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she was like, so, and then I kind of turned around so she could see everything, and she was like, do you wear that when you cook all the time? And I was like, no, I just knew you were coming over. And then everybody started laughing about it. We had 2 couples over, so I thought that was pretty funny. That was a while back, but I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, and on the everyday shooter, on the 10 rounders, you can fix those. You can fix those. They can be fixed. Can't go wrong with a P07 unless you give it away. Yeah, P07s are great guns. They really are. Smith & Wesson 460. Yeah, get you a 500 freaking Magnum or something. Yeah. Yeah, you don't even have to drill them. You can just punch them. Yeah, a little punch and a hammer, and you're good to go on most of them, depending on how they did them. And I've even seen it where some of the gun shops, they won't even send the 10 rounders or the full capacity ones. They won't even send them to other states. It'll have to come magless. Some FFLs do it that way because they know some people will punch them out. So they just say, we didn't send them, and they just keep your mags. I haven't had that happen, but a buddy of mine had that happen. And I was like, it's coming to Texas. What does it matter? And he's like, dude, they kept my mags. And I'm like, what? Like, that's bullcrap. But they were 10 rounders. So, and it was what was it? It was a place out of Colorado. I can't remember their name, but I thought that was pretty shitty. So definitely, if you're running a flashlight and a dot, check your gun for a washout with your flashlight on. So that way you won't have any problems. I do have some things coming from companies that I'm going to be testing. It's some new. They had their older versions that I've tested, and I've really enjoyed them. Now they have a new version, So I will be testing those to see what I think about them. So that'll be coming up on the channel. I don't want to say the name because y'all will figure out what it is, or you'll start digging around on their website and probably find it. Not trying to hide anything from you. I just kind of want it to be a surprise, for some content. I think it'll be good content, but I want y'all to be like, wow, and it's right up my alley. It's loud. It's pretty crazy and cool, I think. Maybe y'all won't. It's definitely not plain. I've got something else coming. I could say this. It's something that you can transport things in. So that'll be coming. I'm pretty excited about it too. Yeah, IBG, I think, yeah, I've heard of them doing that. Yep, they're known for that. No, no, Pistol Pete, it's nothing from them. I will not run any of their stuff. Like I said, when I quit and I said I'm done, I don't go back on my word. I hope y'all know that about me. I don't backtrack. Nope, when I'm done, I'm done. I'm 100% out. What's 8:10? Do y'all have any more questions or anything? I've got a little more time. I'm not in any super hurry, but if y'all got some questions, throw them in there real quick. Let's see. Everyday Shooter saying, how do I know if I need palm swells for my S2? I have the thin bogeys that I ordered with your code, but I'd like to try out the swells. Everyday Shooter, what hand size do you have? And the reason I'm asking this is I've had friends who have medium to large hands, and they thought, oh, I can't handle a swell. Well, I have some palm swells. Now, y'all don't know, well, not every one of them, but most of my palm swells, other than some of the newer ones, are actually even thicker. So they're not their standard palm swells. They're thicker for me. I ask them to be built up, so they make them a little bit thicker for me, but y'all won't need that. But I've had standard ones that I've had people with medium to large hands put their hands on them, and they love them. They're like, oh my God, this helps so much. Oh yeah, Everyday Shooter, you'd love them. If you have large to XL hands, you'd love them. Yeah, because it feels, a lot of people think that let me take this comment off so you can see. A lot of people think that it's going to be too girthy, but all it does is it fills this gap right here. And here's the easiest way I can say it. If you've ever felt a CZ75B palm swell, like the tactical, they're rubber ones that CZ made. If you've ever felt those, it's that feeling, but 1,000 times more better texture. So yeah, if you've got large to XL hands, you're going to love them. So I highly recommend them, and you're not going to have a problem with. I'll even put money on that. You're not going to have that problem. So you're going to like them. Matter of fact, on one side, on the Shadow 2, I took one of my Shadow 2s and I put a palm swell on this side, and I put, you'll probably see it that I posted. It's the thin, but it has the G10 pattern on the inside. It's an inlay. I put that thin on the outside, or the left side, and put the palm swell on the right side. So I had him grab it with his right hand, and then I had him grab it with the left hand, and he was like, palm swell. And he has like medium to large hands. So I'm just a big palm swell guy. Everybody I've turned on to palm swells, they don't order anything but palm swells afterwards. So no. I mean, would lockjaws be too aggressive for competition? I love the lockjaws. I love them, but I've got the rough, calloused, the working hands from back in the day. So I'm not sensitive to them. I don't think you would have a problem with them. The gun does not move. It's literally locked in your hand. These are the most aggressive ones they've ever made, because when they came out with the brass aggressive, I told them those weren't aggressive enough. And they were like, holy crap. And so when they came out with these, a lot of people who have been running the lockjaws really love them. I think they've only had one complaint, and not everybody has, not everybody likes aggressive. They've only had one complaint saying they were too aggressive out of all the ones they've sold, and they've sold a lot of them. So I do not think they would be too aggressive for competition. If you're shooting competition, you don't want the gun to move. It's not going to move. It sticks in. It sticks there. Oh, I just tuned in. I apologize. No problem, Joseph. Thanks for joining. If you've already answered this question, is there a 2011 manufacturer that makes a direct mount slide for an RMR? Ooh, yeah, the Platypus. I think you can order their gun with an RMR, cutout, or an RMSC. I think you can order it that way. All the rest of them, I believe they use plates. I believe they do. I'm not positive on that, but I think the Platypus, you can order it with a direct cut. I believe so. Yeah, Pranic says on his P01 he went with the stock, or he went with the thinner ones, and he wants the stock grips back now, or back on there. Yeah, I think you're really going to like the Palm Swell. Hello, Steve L. Long time no see, brother. Hope you're doing well. He said he picked up a Chris Sphinx today. Big J, do you remember the trigger kit from Modern Weapon System? Is it worth doing? Yes, 1,000%. It's worth doing. I ran that trigger. The stock trigger is what it is. It's kind of, it's pretty heavy. So yes, I did put the Modern Weapon System in it, the full kit. I loved it. It sent everything off. I was the first tester on it. I don't know if you remember way back when. So the firing pin that it came with or whatever, it wouldn't set off hard primers. So I did have a little problems with that. However, they sent me the updated and it fixed it. So on all the going forward, they have all the updated parts in it. So yes, you'll be happy with it. And after you get it, you'll be happy you put it in there. IBG says, Big J, are you still liking your Acro P2? Yes. It is probably because of battery life, durability. It is like my go to war. Not that we're doing that, but if I had to say go to war dot, that would be it for an enclosed emitter. The MPS, I really love the Steiner MPS, but the battery life sucks. So spoiler alert. If you run it on a high intensity, you're only going to get like 2 weeks battery out of it because it's got the little bitty ass battery in it. And that's if you keep it on all the time. If you set the mode to permanently be on, you'll get 2 weeks out of it. If you run it, really bright. Oh yeah. Yeah. If you've got West Texas fence builder paws, you will have no issues. None at all. Yeah, N-Lock does have a really good return policy, but like I said, I've bought them and never had to return any of them. Now, of course, they send me some of them too, but yeah, they don't. They have it for DPP, Delta Point Pros. They just don't have it for RMR. Yeah, it is horrible battery time. Now that's if you choose to keep it on all the time. Well, the Acro P2 just stays on all the time. I've had that damn thing for over a year, and I'm doing this on purpose. But I've had it in there for over a year because I do carry a battery on me all the time. And I've talked about framing it, if your battery ever went down. But I'm trying to see if the battery is going to take a poop on the Acro P2, and it has not yet. So, and I don't run it on baby intensity. Remember, I'm running it bright, so my X300 doesn't wash it out. And y'all know how bright those lights are, and it's the turbo too. So when I kick that thing on, that's 66,000 candela. It's a freaking lightsaber. So I got to crank that intensity up. So is 9mm NATO? Yes, Joseph, it is. Or 120. Yeah, I mean, like the 124 is considered NATO. Is the P2 shake awake? No, P2 stays on all the time. It's not shake awake. It stays on. You can sit there and look at it, and it'll be on. Yeah, it is. That's the thing I really love about the Steiner MPS, and I've got 2 of those. You get the bigger window and a little bit taller window. It's a great dot. Don't get me wrong. The clarity, it's a great dot. It doesn't get as bright, even if you manually set it as bright. It doesn't get as bright as the P2, but it's definitely daylight bright. I mean, you're not going to have a problem with it. It doesn't wash out. It's just, and here's the thing you can do on the Steiner. You can not put it on, you can keep it on manual. So after 10 hours, it'll shut off. So it'll just sit there and it'll shut off. All you have to do is tap the positive or the negative, and it comes right back on, and then it gives you another 10 or 12 hours of runtime. So you can keep your intensity on, set it down, it'll go off. And then in the morning, like I was talking about earlier, you pick it up, you push the button, it'll kick on, check your intensity, you're good. And then that's 10 hours. So if you're out longer than 10 hours, you can just look down, because I carry appendix, so I can just look down and go, yep, dot's still on. But if I just tap the up or the down, then it resets and gives me another 10 hours. So you can work it like that too and get longer battery life out of it. Mod lights. I'm not a big mod light fan. I do have the what is it called? Cloud Defensive. I've got 3 of the Cloud Defensives. I really love them. Mod lights, and this is just me, in my opinion. I used to see some banter go back and forth with them. If you ever say anything negative about their lights, like when they had the weapon light and the little tab was breaking and the damn things were falling off the guns because they 3D printed that shit and they were janky. If you ever said anything bad about it, he would block you on Instagram and do all this other shit. He's, used to be a crybaby. I don't know if he is anymore. And I think this was the owner or whatever. And I don't have time for that shit. So make good product. I mean, a lot of their lights work and they're super freaking bright. So I'm not knocking them. I just don't have time for that kind of bullshit. So I've never had a problem with my Cloud Defensives. I've got the Reigns. They work great. They're freaking bright as hell. Also, when you buy their light, it comes with their kit. If you want to buy that as a kit. You are stuck to theirs unless you buy a different light body that they offer now. You can run Streamline or Surefire stuff, but they're great lights. They've never let me down. So that's who I kind of stick with. Taylor Brown says, please tell Lynx Defense to make a silencer bag like Coltac did. You don't think I've already told Michael that? I have told Michael to make that and the pistol bags, where you can put your pistol in the bag and zip it up. I've told him that, and, I guess he's eventually going to do it. Trust me, he makes awesome products, but I told him the same thing. So, and maybe he will come out with it soon. I think he does have it, kind of on the back to get that done. So hopefully he will soon. 507 comp video coming soon. I don't have the 507 comp. I've looked through it. I've played with it. I could have bought it. I think it's a great option. It offers a lot of different, a lot of different options for your reticle, which is really cool. I don't own one yet. I'm not saying I won't get one. I think it's really cool. So I think it gives you great options. And, if you've got them, run them. I think a lot of people really like them. Everyday shooter, no, I really don't shoot a lot. I've been thinking about doing some steel challenges and stuff. It's just, my dad's sick, especially right now. My dad's, when I'm not working during the week and traveling on the weekends, I'm usually visiting with him and seeing him. He's still in the rehab/nursing facility and probably will be. He's going through some Parkinson's. So we just found out, I haven't updated y'all on this, but he's been on a feeding tube for quite a while because he had to have chemo and radiation for his throat cancer. And we thought, the swelling, because he couldn't eat or drink. That's why they do the feeding tube. So they were hoping the swelling would go down and all that other stuff. Well, he also has Parkinson's. When he did the radiation and the chemo, it kicked that Parkinson's up into overdrive. So the tumor and everything has shrunk. that's looking better. However, we have been informed as of yesterday that he will be on the feeding tube forever. The Parkinson's, I had no idea about this, but it takes 38 muscles and your brain to allow you to swallow. And I was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea about that. And I was watching the doctor, and they said, put your lips together, not force them together, just put your lips together and then try to swallow. And I was like, that's weird. So I put my lips together and tried to swallow, and it's like you kind of have to think about it. Like you have to go and do the whole head movement just to do it. And that is what a Parkinson's patient, that's kind of what they go through, because it's like you have to think about it and all that. Well, when Parkinson's affects your muscles, that is the problem. So he can't swallow anymore. So he'll be on the feeding tube from now on. So that's where we are with it. Yes, it was. Yep. That's a Sealy Bull Pro. They were supposed to send me one. I've been waiting to get it. I haven't gotten it. They were supposed to send me one so I could test it, because that thing is freaking huge. I mean, that Sealy Bull Pro is literally like that big. It's way bigger than a Holosun competition. However, it's so big, I would probably only run it in the competition. I wouldn't carry it. It's just too damn big. But the durability is supposed to be there. A lot of people have dropped them and things like that, but I wanted to test it for myself. So they're still supposed to be sending me one, but I hadn't seen it or heard anything about it. So we'll see if I get it. If I don't, I don't. But if I do, I do. But, yes, but Humboldt did get his. So he ran it, and he had it on his, I think that was his priest. I think it was his voodoo priest gun that he put it on. Damn, Henry Kissinger died? Holy crap. Yeah, I appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's it sucks. I've done steel challenges in the past, back when I was shooting USPSA as well, and it is fun. I was shooting it with like 45s and 9mm and stuff like that, and I probably will shoot one. I just got to get a free weekend to do it, and I'm gonna run some 22s. I love 22s, so I've got some tricked out race 22s. So everyday shooter, I think they're all China. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they are. So, I mean, so far with Sealy, the dots that I've gotten from them, they're actually really good. The Cat Pro, even with my dual astigmatism, that thing is pretty damn clear. The Bear enclosed is nice. I haven't had one problem with it yet, and I've shot it quite a bit. And all their, shake awake, it all works correctly. I've tried to beat it and pick it up to see if I could, make it go off and all that, but I hadn't been able to do so. So far they seem pretty legit to me. For an inexpensive dot. Would I trust my life on it? I don't know about that. But, for competition, maybe if you want to carry, like I said, even if your dot goes bad, I've said this numerous times, you can use the frame of your dot to frame someone that you need to, handle. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, I don't think any of it's made here or assembled here. Oh, I am going to be kind of revamping a gun. I don't want to say which one it is, but I'm going to be doing some changes on it. Y'all might be surprised of what it is, but I'm going to be doing some stuff to it, adding some stuff, moving some stuff around. So we'll leave it at that, but I don't think y'all are going to expect which gun it is. Kranich, when you're on, CommiTube, you've got to, I'm telling you, like I said, with the stuff I've already said, this probably is going to be smashed or whatever. Matter of fact, let's take a look and see if it is already demonetized. if it'll show me. It might not yet because I'm still live. So let's see if it even shows anything. No, it's not. It's not posted yet because I'm still live. So, yep, CommieTube is not our friend for sure. However, it's their platform. Unfortunately, I got to do what they got to do, or they, I got to play by their whatever. Otherwise, I'd be showing y'all stuff, and we'd be having a good old time. But it's sitting right there. I just can't show it. Pistol Pete would guarantee it'd be demonetized because of him. Well, like I said, y'all know I speak my mind. I do it in real life as well. If I don't even know if any friends are on here, but they know that I don't hold my tongue in real life either. I'll tell you what I think. IBG, I am on, God, what is it called? Odyssey. All of these videos transfer over to Odyssey automatically. Rumble, I haven't set anything up over there. It's just a lot of that, what I found in the past. I used to be on some other platforms back in the day, but I was just like, screw this. I'm not on Instagram. I haven't been on there in 2+ years, 3 years. I won't go back. They demonetized everything and shadow banned me. I'm pretty sure I'm shadow banned on here on YouTube as well. But I haven't done a Rumble. Everybody's asked, hey, you need to do a Rumble. But when I go over there and look, nobody's getting views. I mean, Humble, none of these guys are getting any views. So, I want to try to get my message out to everybody that 2A is good, that everybody should protect themselves and carry on. But, it is what it is. So. Yeah, he doesn't have a big following over there like he does on YouTube. He puts a lot of effort, a lot of really nice effort into his videos. Sorry, I don't. I'm just kind of the plain old guy. I don't edit. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. You kind of get what you get. That's the way I want to keep it. So it's probably hindered my growth as well. But, I don't care if I have 100,000 subs or 20,000 subs. It doesn't matter to me, I'm not worried about that. I would like to grow more just so we can get more messages out there, but it is what it is. But it is 8:32. We went 32 minutes over. I hope I didn't step on anybody's chat. Yeah, Steven Crowder does get a lot of views over there. I used to watch him on YouTube. I don't, periodically. But yeah, I don't really go over to Rumble to watch anybody over there. So for me to go on there and, Patreon, I don't know. I have a problem with, asking people for money and stuff like that. I've had a lot of people like donate to the, the live chat and stuff like that. And I appreciate all that. But I don't know. I just feel weird about asking people for money, especially, in times like now, because everybody needs it. You've got family members to support and things like that. So I just feel really weird about, give me money, to watch my videos. I feel weird about it. So just a personal thing. A lot of people, that do that, that's cool. Another thing is I'm not putting out like movies. I'm not, it's just me. I'm a one-man show. I don't have to pay a camera guy and stuff like a lot of other YouTubers do, big YouTubers. I don't know if I bring enough to the party, so to say, that justifies you paying me for it. So, if you want to donate for ammo or something like that, that's cool, but I just don't want to ask for it. I don't think that's right. I have not. I reached out to KS and he texted me back immediately and said, "Hey man, I'm in a meeting. Let me get back with you." And I'm sure he just got busy. 17, man, I think I told him, Happy Thanksgiving or something. I don't remember. But it's been a while since we've chatted too. I probably just need to call him and say, "Hey, let's chat." Just so y'all know, I've also thought about it, but every time I get ready to do it, it's not enough notice. But doing like a three guys reunion, having all of us back on and shooting the crap and stuff, and I will get to work on that. We'll see if we can make it happen. But we have no ill will towards anyone. I mean, we're all friends, so it's all good. Pistol Pete says, you have a genuine, honest channel. Don't change a thing. Well, I appreciate that so much, sir. Y'all are the ones that make this happen. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to myself if y'all weren't watching. So I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all are family members. You've been through the good times, the bad times. The stuff going on with my dad. I appreciate all the prayers and everything y'all have said. I mean, it really means a lot. It takes my mind off of other things, with doing this. So that's a good thing too. So you're definitely a Texas 2A legend, man. I appreciate you so much. I'm born and raised here. Definitely love Texas. Don't knock any of your other states. If you live elsewhere, that's cool, except all the blue ones. I will, yeah. If they're infringing on gun rights, screw them. I'll just say it that way. But yeah, I mean, I spend a lot of time in Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas. Those are a lot of good people there. Matter of fact, I forgot to tell y'all, I was in Louisiana. Well, I think I did a chat from Louisiana. I was in Louisiana, and actually a guy was staring at me at a restaurant. He was like looking at me kind of funny, and I looked over at him, and I was staring back at him, and I'm like, something about to pop off. And then he got up with it. He was with his family though, so I was like, we're good. But he got up with his family, and his family started walking towards the door, and he started walking towards me, and I'm like, okay, this is weird, And he walked up and he looked at me. He goes, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And I was like, I don't live here. I live in Texas. And he's like, "Oh, that's where I know you from." He goes, "Are you Big J?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And he goes, "Oh hell, man, I'll watch you." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's cool." So we chatted for a minute. He got a picture, just us standing there, and he held the phone out. So I don't know if he posted it up or not. He told me his name. I'm sorry if you're watching and I can't remember your name. I'm sorry. He was just like, "Hey, I just wanted to say hi to you," and then took off out the door with his family. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was a lot of, I mean, I love Texas. Like I said, not everything's perfect here. There's parts of it that are turning blue or trying to turn blue, Austin. But I think it's a great state. So, and I'm probably biased, but 17 bought a 45. I didn't know that. Man, I've been so busy with stuff going on with my dad. Honestly, I haven't watched a ton of videos. I probably need to catch up. Wellington, Texas. Okay. Yeah, cool, man. Yep, I'm in the North Dallas area. So I won't say the town, but I'm in the North Dallas area. So I was born in Dallas when I was a kid, of course. Born in Dallas and kind of grew up in, y'all probably haven't even heard of this place, but grew up in Kleberg, Texas. If y'all ever want to hear a Hard Knocks story, maybe I'll do a Hard Knocks chat one time and kind of tell you the shit that I went through between a crazy mother, biological mother. But anyway, we won't talk about that tonight. But if y'all ever want to hear it, we might let it out one night because it'll blow your mind. Oh, Amarillo. Yep. Kleberg, Texas. Yeah, it's right beside Seagoville. Ooh, Brian says, bought and received my first pair of custom-made boots after 5 months of waiting. They're too small. I'm not happy. Oh, crap, man. That sucks. Who made them for you? I get a lot of mine made. So, but I got a guy that has done a bunch of them for me. They're not cheap, but you go in, he draws your foot out. I mean, he goes over what sole you want and all that stuff. He does great work. But like I said, they ain't cheap. And I'm sure yours weren't either. Yeah, custom boots and regular, and you can. I have boots that I bought at boot stores too. So not saying that I only wear custom boots, but there is a difference between custom boots and some just off the shelf boots. Especially if you have feet like me, I got those big old boat feet. But we will go ahead and shut this down. I really want to thank all of y'all for being on and giving great questions or asking great questions. Hope I helped, answer some of your questions or giving you some kind of opinions. Not saying I'm always right. Um, I just like sharing, stuff like this with y'all, and I appreciate y'all listening to it. Also, after the chat, if you come up with any other questions or comments or anything like that, please leave them. I'll get to them as quickly as I can. But yeah, I'm pretty much ending all my chats now, just saying, hey, man, if you haven't talked to people in your family, please reach out to them, let them know you're thinking about them, stuff like that, because you never know. I mean, things can happen. Love one another. Be patient with your family. Um, they might not be here forever. So, anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all have a great night. Be safe out there. And remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on. Take care, everyone. See you next Wednesday.